Yeah, okay, welcome to the standardized Nicktoons, tier list. Let's go. I guess we'll just start off in order. Why not? Alright, so Spongebob. I'm basing this off of good Golden Age of Spongebob, 1999 to 2004. Absolute S tier. Literally, at this point, with all the memes that come from the Golden Age, it's literally one of the greatest shows of all time. Like, you can't even cap that. It's literally one of the greatest shows of all time. It literally has Cold Fusion built into it because it keeps pumping out memes to this very day. 17 years after its golden age. There's nothing more to say. It's SpongeBob. Rocket Power. Now, these are a little subject to change, like, because I'm going in each order. There are subject to change. Rocket Power. I'm going to give Rocket Power, at the moment, before maybe I consider it, a high B. Rocket Power, in my opinion, hella underrated show, in my opinion. People usually gloss over the show by saying, oh, it's just some kids doing skateboarding and stuff. But this show did something extremely unique in an age where everything was like fantasy. Fantasy was more, Ginger was more grounded, but like SpongeBob is fantasy, Chalk Zone's like fantasy. Rocket Power was like deadass a show that like tried to promote the kids to get up, wake up, get up, and get out there. Rocket Power, I think, was like a really good show of like just convincing kids to like do more physical activity. There was like character arcs, there was character building. They lived in like California. There was like world building there a little bit. Again, it's not as like it's way more grounded than any of the other fantasy shows on Nick, but like they tried to like send like a good positive like physical activity message through Rocket Power. Hell, through Rocket Power alone, I wanted to learn how to rollerblade. Even still overweight as a kid, I would be very bad at it. I never actually got around to trying. Well, that's always what I envisioned Rocket Power was. Also, I have a funny story to tell about Rocket Power. I have a great funny story to tell about Rocket Power, which I will conclude at the end. But that's what I always thought about Rocket Power. It was a show that was just trying to like promote the positivity of physical exercise. Maybe you could have been again, and also like skating culture was very big in the '90s. So you had skating, surfing, they all did rollerblading. Like these kids did all the riding sports. I thought that's what they were just trying to like promote in like a healthy sort of way, and it was. Rocket Power didn't age well. All right, again, tier lists are different. I think Rocket Power is hell underrated. Would it hold up today? Maybe not like a phenomenal storytelling in any case, but I think it's a good, solid show. It's a good, solid, grounded show. Also the funny story. I have an I don't talk to him anymore. I never saw him again after the story. But one of my old friends from Sunday school, I remember his name to this day. His name was Jermaine. He was Dominican. He loved Rocket Power. Rocket Power was his favorite show of all time. We're talking back in like '99 because we were in first, second, and third grade Sunday school together. But then he moved in the summer of third and fourth grade Sunday school, and I never saw him again. I didn't even know until the first like Sunday of fourth grade Sunday school, because back in '99 we didn't have cell phones. He couldn't text me like, "Oh, sorry, bro, I'm moving," and we never really exchanged like phone numbers. We didn't have cell phones, so there was no way to really know. But I always remember my primary Sunday school friend Jermaine, who loved Rocket Power. That goes out to you, homie. I don't know if you'd remember me to this day, but I remember him. As Told by Ginger. As Told by Ginger... As Told by Ginger is... it's interesting. I want to give a high C at the moment. As Told by Ginger was never really... I did watch it, but it was never really like my favorite thing to always catch. Now, I'm gonna speak like a mid, like early 2000s kid. It was always kind of a girly show. It wasn't really my like super cup of tea. Look, the characters were a little like weird, and some of the story was a little weird, and it was about a girl going through the pressures of mid-teendom. It was not my flavor of tea. Wasn't super bad, but I didn't really just jive with it extremely well. Just overall, just a very Weird show. Again, not my jive, but I can see the artistic value in it. Oh, you put As Told by Ginger under D tier? Well, we'll see. We'll see what I work with over here. Fairly Odd Parents. I'm assuming we're going with Golden Age Fairly Odd Parents, which is everything before Channel Chases and before. I mean, even after Channel Chases, they still were good. They were good up until like the baby or the dog or whatever, until like 2007 or 8 or something. I'm Golden Age Fairly Odd Parents is also S tier. It has a fraction of SpongeBob's mean power. I mean, we still make Doug Dimmadome jokes to this very day. So yeah, Golden Age Fairly Odd Parents S tier. Again, it had just a fraction of SpongeBob's power level, and I mean that in a good way. It just had all the good things that made SpongeBob good: clever writing, funny characters, and eventual, when memes culture became a thing, funny memes. It just had the fraction of SpongeBob power. It's what SpongeBob Light almost in a sense. I know it's a weird way of describing it, but if SpongeBob's the almighty Ultra Instinct Super Saiyan Nicktoon, then Fairly Odd Parents is right there next to him, standing like a little smaller. I still make references to Ruled and Jorgen von Strangle, Timmy Turner. Yeah, exactly. Invader Zim, my buddy Matt 5000, if he's still here. Oh, great. Hey, there we go. My buddy Matt 5000, if he's still here in chat, loves the show to absolute death. He would put this on top of S tier. I thought the show was pretty okay. I'd be willing to put this probably, this is probably going to be low of A if I put more things in A. Invader Zim was always that weird show that even kind of creeped me out when I was like 9, 10. I definitely did like it though. At this day, it's still a good watch, and it probably actually ages a lot better than a lot of things on this list. And of course, it did eventually have a new movie. The name's escaping me. Like even later on, to like a couple years ago, it even had like a new movie. I can't believe the name's escaping me at the moment. Overall, Invader Zim was a pretty good show, but I think maybe it's like a tingle overrated, just a tingle overrated. But it's still a very solid show. I had Zim on S, that's fair. I wasn't into Zim until I go, that's also fair, again, because of the weird nature of the show, and the, hidden, depths of adult writing in the show. Zim's creepiness gave it a C tier for me, also fair. Again, I understand why people wouldn't like this show. And even then, I don't, 100% suck this show's dick. I think this is probably going to end up low A, is probably going to be the thing for me. Chalk Zone. Chalk Zone deserves to be in the B tier with Rocket Power. Chalk Zone is a show you don't really hear much nowadays because it doesn't have memes pumped out of it in Fairly Odd Parents and SpongeBob. But Chalk Zone, I had Chalk Zone on C, middle of the road. I understand where you were coming from on that. Chalk Zone isn't the greatest artistic masterpiece of all time, but again, this is one of those shows that inspired creativity. Rocket Power and Chalk Zone are sort of like martyrs for what they were trying to do. Chalk Zone inspired a lot of drawing. What Rocket Power did for physical exercise and extreme sports, Chalk Zone did for drawing. I wonder how many people got into drawing from Chalk Zone. Also, the characters were funny, the adventures were pretty interesting, aside from a couple of weird episodes, but yeah. Again, you can draw anything you want in the Chalk Zone, so anything you draw came to life. I can imagine, it really sparks that creativity. I think because Rocco is my number one S tier, I was so overtied. No, that's fair. Why is Invader Zim not an S tier? Oh, Matt, I was just talking about you. Listen, Matt, I love the show to death. I just don't suck its dick extremely hard. Look, listen, I was just talking about you, see? I was just talking about you when I put it on high A tier. Listen, I like the show. I think it's a touch overrated. It's better than a lot of things on this list, don't get me wrong. But, I don't suck this show's dick as hard as the other fans do. It's still a good show. Rudy! Yeah, Penny and Snap. Chalk Zone definitely deserves a B tier. I would, anything B and above, I would show kids nowadays. Whether they like it or not, I would show them this, because I think these shows above C tier, maybe even some in C tier, would have artistic value to show today. I guess that's a weird way of phrasing it, but I don't know, I just value artistic value. Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy Neutron hella deserves... Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Jimmy Neutron is hella A tier. It's a good, funny show. Even has some memes. Not as much as Spongebob and Fearless, but Jimmy Neutron is a hella good show. It unfortunately sort of went off with not like a good finale or anything. It sort of went off with sort of a whimper. Around 2004, the show waned in popularity, and they added a few more new episodes in like 2005, and it sort of just went out with a little whimper. Didn't really go with anything big. But the animated movie is fucking great. I loved it to death as a kid. The show is fucking hilarious. I mean, we still make croissant jokes to this very day when they're got a blast. Yeah, exactly. Again, Jimmy Neutron, fantastic. Again, Jimmy Neutron also artistically valued. Again, I'm talking about artistic value. Again, Jimmy Neutron probably inspired a lot of science in kids. Again, artistic value. I know I'm a huge broken record at this point. All Grown Up. All Grown Up. I love Rugrats to death. All Grown Up was very, very heavy lukewarm for me. All Grown Up is weird. It was really cool seeing character growth of Rugrats, especially as a huge Rugrats fan, to see him grown up. They just went with a very weird route with it. Them as tweens, and them as tweens just didn't have the same charm as when they were babies. All Grown Up was weird. I almost forgot that the Jimmy Neutron movie came first. Yeah, exactly. I remember seeing that in theaters. I had my parents take me to Coconuts to buy the soundtrack. Who remembers the CD store Coconuts? Being older, I always end up watching a weird set of these shows which I watch and haven't. That's also fair. Yeah, All Grown Up is just a very... Oh, I remember Coconuts, yeah. Yeah, All Grown Up is a very, very lukewarm for me. I wouldn't go back and really watch it. Like, again, shows above C tier, I would go back and watch again. Shows maybe around here, maybe, and below would definitely not. And yeah, I wouldn't go back and watch All Grown Up or show it to my future kid. Well, I'm not having a kid. Quick fact about me: I don't like kids. I'm not an asshole, but kids aren't my cup of tea, so I'm not having a son or a daughter. All right, I wouldn't show this to like my nephew or anything. It's just. All right, My Life as a Teenage Robot. Oh, I'm gonna give this a high B. My Life as a Teenage Robot was definitely an interesting concept, and Jenny is still a noteworthy waifu to this very day. But the show did suffer from some issues. It had some very weird episodes in its later season. The plot was a little all over this place, especially with Vexus later on in the show. The writing started fumbling around. Again, we're grading kids shows. How much can I really like be critical of writing? But My Life as a Teenage Robot, great hilarious concept. The three main characters, Tuck, Jenny, and Brad, absolute hilarious characters. Nora Wakeman, again, all good. Sheldon was a little weird, but Sheldon was the nasally guy who wanted to nut to Jenny, so yeah. Ooh, Caribou. Looks like you're going to the Shadow Realm, Jimbo. But anyway, yeah, My Life as a Teenage Robot, solid show. Very, very solid show. Again, really cool having a female protagonist. Again, probably so far the best show with a female protagonist, Jenny. Good shit, Nickelodeon. Danny Phantom. Oh, man. Danny Phantom. Again, this is gonna be crazy, I know, and I'm biased, but I'm actually putting Danny Phantom high A tier. Hear me out. I love Danny Phantom to death. I'm actually gonna main him in Nicktoons Kart Racers when I play Wednesday. This show actually did have a finale. Sure, the third season has writing problems. Yes, it does, because it was rushed for the ending. Unfortunately, due to executive meddling. But Danny Phantom is a solid as fuck show. Fantastic characters from beginning to end. Good character growth. Good plot setup. Who knew they can turn ghosts into some superhero show ass anime? Like, great idea. Great original idea. Good show. I didn't get into it at first, but I respect it. Danny Phantom is a great show. People a little overhate on the third season. Again, the third season has issues due to Nickelodeon executive meddling and writing issues. But it actually did have a finale. It actually did have a finale instead of going out like a whimper, like Jimmy Neutron, and just being outright canceled like Zim, and having weird later episodes like Teenage Robot, and losing popularity like Rocket Power. Danny Phantom actually had an actual ass finale. And going into Dark Ages like the shows above it, actual ass finale. It's actually, to this day, if you really calculate the later half of Fairly Odd Parents, it's actually Butch Hartman's best show. I mean, yeah. Butch Hartman aside, it's actually his best show, if you count Fairly Odd Parents' bad seasons, which is a lot more. Thanks to the host. Danny Phantom is actually his best show, technically. Oh, good old Doug. Doug is right up here on the S list. Yeah, thank you. Doug is right up here on the S tier list. Doug is a phenomenal slice of life anime. Doug is a phenomenal. Oh, what? Everybody's watching you? Yeah, it's from DDR. I'm not a DDR player myself. I'm a phony, but I like that. I like that voice saying everyone's watching you. I thought it would make a really cool host alert back when I became a streamer. Doug is a phenomenal show. Like I said, the joke. I already said the joke. It's a fantastic slice of life anime. Damn, just a boy and his dog going through the rough nature of young teenhood. We have Roger the bully, Judy, his weird artistic older sister. We have Hong Kong Skeeter. Oh, good fucking times. I totally agree that that Danny Phantom's Butch's best show. Yeah, I mean, again, counting Fairly Odd Parents' bad shit, yeah, it is. Again, Doug, fantastic slice of life anime. Probably the best slice of life anime Nickelodeon show of all time. Very expensive. Yeah, Mr. Dink. Oh, man. Avatar: The Last Airbender. No, I'm just thinking about where to put it up here. Second to SpongeBob. Speaking of shows that have an ending that wasn't fully rushed, Avatar: The Last Airbender, the OG season, literally one of the greatest shows of all time. One of the best shonen animes of all time. I will show this to any kid who wants to see it. Phenomenal show. Again, this is a show Matt 5000 really needs to get into. Absolutely phenomenal world building. The best Nickelodeon has ever seen, bar none. Fantastic characters, voice direction for their voice acting. You fell for these characters. Again, one of the greatest shonen animes of all time. Jokes aside. Absolutely phenomenal. It's a 61 episode show that's clear cut to the very end. It's like literally perfect. You literally captured lightning perfection in a bottle and unleashed it on me in 2005. Also, if you don't cry at that one scene, you know the one, I will judge you. Yeah. I showed Avatar to my girlfriend's niece and nephew, don't pay attention to anything, and they were gross with the first thing. See, there we go! Good, even Zoomers nowadays like it. Good! That's good to hear. I haven't really shown this to anyone, like, a Zoomer or below yet in this day and age. So good! I'm gonna show this show to my nephew one day. He's only 6 at the moment, I'm gonna wait till he gets a little older. Absolutely phenomenal show. I've watched this show over 10 times over. I maybe not be the hugest fan, I'm not maybe as big a fan as Corey, but goddamn, I'll still challenge him to trivia at the show any day. Her niece is 8 and was asking lore questions. Maybe I'm underestimating kids as an old man. Maybe kids are a little better than I thought. Well, even then, I'll still wait to show my nephew when he's a little older. There's no war in Ba Sing Se. Speaking of Nicktoons, I highly recommend Glitch Text. Yeah, I heard about that show. Again, I barely have enough time to catch up on my actual anime than what's new and good, so I'll one day. Don't get me wrong, it didn't last. Okay. Alright, let's move this along. Cat Scratch. Cat Scratch gets a very low B from me. Hey, thanks for the pick.
Shellshock Prime shared one.
Cat Scratch gets a very low B for me. It's a slightly underrated because the characters were so funny, and the main character, Mr. Blick, was voiced by Wayne Knight. God bless him. We have Mr. Blick, Gordon, and Waffles. Waffles being my favorite character. Oh, and Hovis. And Hovis and the Human Kimberly. Cat Scratch was a very weird show. It's just about rich cats vibing in their mansion with crazy adventures. It It's a solid show. If you can vibe with the characters, it's a solid show. It didn't do anything like too crazy. Didn't do anything too weird. It just had weird characters that were carrying the slice of life plot really well with some interesting humor. It gets a low B from me. The X's. I almost called this the Mr. X's. Oh, the X's. You get a nice mid C from me. Again, a very lukewarm show. Essentially, Cat Scratch, much worse. Starring a spy family and the dad voiced by Patrick Warburton. God bless him. Couldn't carry the show. It's a very lukewarm show about a spy family and a very weird villain. I fucking forget his name. What's the villain's name again with the giant head? I fucking forget his name. It meant like his name meant like unlucky or something. I forget his name. Either way, very lukewarm show. Humor was okay. Just a spy family show is very, very lukewarm. It's okay. It's nothing insulting, but very lukewarm. El Tigre. El Tigre probably gets a very low B from me. They came at different time periods. I was a bigger fan of Mucha Lucha. El Tigre, for its representation, definitely gets up here. It was an okay show. Again, another kid superhero show. Kid has tiger powers. I kind of actually struggling to remember. To be fair, I was sort of at Nicktoons at this time. I didn't watch super much El Tigre, but it's okay. It's just overall okay. Yeah, it was okay. Tak, this is the first show I've not seen. I did not watch Tak. I never really played Tak and the Power of Juju the games, and I didn't watch the show either. Nothing personal, I just didn't watch it. A Barnyard I didn't watch either. Kappa Mikey. Oh, Kappa Mikey. I'm gonna actually put Kappa Mikey. This might be a little weird, but I'm gonna put Kappa Mikey above Cat Scratch. Kappa Mikey is a very avant-garde show. If there's gonna be one show on here that I'm gonna describe as avant-garde, it's Kappa Mikey. A Western animated. Okay. Where do I start with this? Well, you start with hey, look out on the street. You had Barnyard at D, mediocre show. I thought so. I never really got amazing vibes from it, but I'm gonna be fair and say I haven't seen it. Kappa Mikey, American kid, moves to Japan, stars in an anime. He himself is animated Western style, while the other characters are animated anime style. and there's a red, purple rat guy. If I fucking forget his name. I do know that the main villain of the anime when they acted, Gonard, was voiced by Sean Schimmel. Sean Schimmel was actually a voice actor in this show. Very, very interesting. Again, I'm not doing a great job describing it because it's very avant-garde, but it had a lot to... It was avant-garde in a very good way. Just go watch a couple episodes. It's almost like, you know what it is? It's the Eric Andre of Nicktoons. It's not as crazy as Eric Andre, but it sort of encapsulates some similar vibes to Eric Andre. Like, if this show was all over the place in a good way, I'm trying to say. Mighty B, I've not watched. I was sort of at Nicktoons. Oh, this is, like, Best Friends. This is the girl's Charlotte or something. I didn't watch that either. I did hear from a friend, though, who did watch the show, that it was actually pretty okay. So I think spiritually it'd be B, but I personally have not watched it. Madagascar, I have not watched either. So yeah, we're starting to fly through the list of shows I have not watched. Rugrats. Rugrats gets the S tier. Phenomenal show. Back when we were younger, watching babies just do more like elementary school level and teen shit, and the funny adult and the adult humor again. Everything all grown ups probably wasn't. Rugrats, phenomenal show. Absolutely phenomenal show. Again, you can go back and watch this and show this to young kids. They'll get a hoot out of it. All the Stu and Drew memes. Good show. Fanboy and Chum. I would love to put this at F tier, but I haven't watched the show because I was so repulsed by even the thought of watching it. But I'm gonna be 100% honest. I don't think the show is good. Just from outside looking in, but I have not seen the show. I can't honestly give it a rating. I have seen Planet Sheen though, and that gets a hard F. Literally ruined literally ruined the idea of the Jimmy Neutron lore in general. Literally insulting to intelligence. Yeah, so Planet Sheen, literally insulting to human intelligence, like dead ass. This show was not good. It has bad plots. You can tell Sheen's voice actor didn't want to be there. He's just out of it. The writing staff didn't want to be there. They're just literally shitting onto a piece of paper and just passing it as episode plots. The plot is, I have to forget. Sheen goes off to some planet. He separates from Carl and Jimmy and goes off to some planet with a monkey and shit. It's fucking bad. It's like the worst. It's like literally the worst kind of writing you can ever write for lore and setting of your universe, of making a spin-off show. It's the worst spin-off of all time. 9/11 was another factor. Ah, I see. Cat Scratch. Not Cat Scratch. What am I saying? Tough Puppy. Wrong animal. Tough Puppy. Tough Puppy gets a very lukewarm low C from me. Probably, again, out of the three Butch Hartman shows, probably his worst. It's not amazingly great. He dropped a lot of the witty writing, and Jerry Trainer as the main character is hella overacting. The writing is very... I hate to use this word spastic. The writing is very spastic. They're trying to go for like the hyper... It's like if every character in the show was like Pinkie Pie and the writing was made by Pinkie Pie. It doesn't have a lot of balance. It's just way too hyper. It is trying to go for that hyper sense of humor, and it's just not... It doesn't hit at all. Tough Puppy is actually not the worst. It's Bunsen and... Oh, I never even heard of that show. I'm sorry. I thought he only made 3 shows. My bad. See, this is why I'm not a full Nicktoons expert, but I did at least watch these. It makes Tough Puppy look like Danny Phantom. Okay, I'll take your word for it. Winx Club I did not watch. Kung Fu Panda... As much as I love Kung Fu Panda, the trilogy movies, The Death, I did not watch this show. To be honest, well, actually, I saw one episode and I wasn't impressed, so it might end up in the C tier. But I only watched one episode. I didn't go full out watching it. Oh, and we reached Legend of Korra. Oh, Legend of Korra. Boy, do I have a lot to say about Legend of Korra. I'm gonna give... Boy, do I really rate Legend of Korra lower than Kappa Mikey? Technically, yeah. I know that this is gonna feel so weird. Legend of Korra has... Oh, Legend of Korra was... Alright, so... I have a lot of pent-up emotions about Legend of Korra. Legend of Awesomeness is okay. You have Mighty B at D. Again, that's another show I thought was overacting from all the commercials I saw of it. That's what I thought was the case. But again, in all fairness, I can't rate it. Oh, Legend of Korra, boy. I have a lot of pent-up feelings about Legend of Korra. It is not... When there was a sequel series announced for Avatar back in 2012, especially when the episodes first leaked in April 2012, I rushed to my computer to watch them that very night. That's how thirsty of an Avatar fan I was. Legend of Korra is a very wobbly roller coaster, to put it in a nutshell. It still has artistic value, that's why it's in B tier. Ironically below Kappa Mikey. I don't know if CTK would shoot my knee off for that, but Korra, as we now know as the show, we now know has issues. Its first season had trouble getting fans off the ground for a number of reasons. They rushed the new setting in season 1 a little too much. All of a sudden, I mean, yeah, 80 years passed, we get that, but all of a sudden people are driving cars and listening to radio in Avatar, which was a hell of a juxtaposition change. Again, I don't mind future technology being introduced in lesser technology-like settings. It happens in Tales of Exilia, but the way Korra handled it was just way too fast, and the whiplash was just hit me a little hard. So I had trouble. I mean, I did watch season 1, and I did, of course, watch the rest of the show, but even as a fan of it, I was like, man, the whiplash hit me hard for how this plot and setting and pacing goes. And of course, there's the character of Korra, but I'm not going to get too into it. She's not as likable as Aang. I'll put it very shortly. She's not as likable as Aang. The rest of the cast isn't as strong as the original cast in this new 80-year sequel. And of course, we have the very bad rushed writing of season 2, which had writing problems. Even every Korra fan knows this. And then season 4 and season 3 and season 4 finish stronger. But again, this show as a whole is just a wobbly roller coaster. It never hit the highs as the original Avatar, not even close, and it hit lows too, unfortunately. It'll always be a very... could be warmer mac and cheese in the microwave sequel. You get what I'm trying to say? Anyway, I don't know what this monster is. I don't know what this is. I haven't watched this. As much as I'm a Ninja Turtle fan, I have not seen any of the Nickelodeon Ninja Turtle shows. The last one I watched was the 2003 series. Sanjay and Craig. I heard this show is very bad, but admittingly, I have not seen it. Ren and Stimpy. My sister and I used to watch this all the time. Hear me out on this. I'm gonna give Ren and Stimpy a low A. Well, again, I'm separating the creator aside because there's creator conundrum in this. I'm gonna separate the art from the artist from this review. I'm not gonna judge on the creator. Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy is interesting. I do like it for its extremely grotesque style of show and humor. And me and my sister used to watch this a lot too, and it probably still holds up too. And it's a very wacky show. It's just, how do I describe this? It's I'm the Avatar, and you have to deal. Yeah. Back to Korra. Yeah. And I'll only appreciate the OG. Yeah. Also, Ren and Stimpy also has a bad, like a quality drop arc too, just like some other shows on this list. I was referring to more a Golden Age Ren and Stimpy. Overall, it's a low A show. It was very revolutionary for its time, for its extremely grotesque humor. Yeah, but that's kind of all that's to offer, and that's not your thing. I can see you not vibing with it, so it gets a low A. It gets a low A. It gets a low A from me. I've seen this. This is like Duck Facers or whatever. I don't know what this show's called. I've seen this. I heard it's bad. Harvey Beaks, and I've not seen it. I don't know what this pig show is. I haven't seen it. Loud House. I've heard a lot about this show. I haven't seen it. Benson. Oh, this is the Bunsen show you just mentioned. It's apparently bad, but fairly enough, I've not seen it. Yeah, this is where I'm going to start dropping off shows I haven't seen. I don't know what this is. Haven't seen it. Harvey Beaks is amazing. Okay. I'll trust your word for it. I don't know what this Super Kid show is. This is the other Ninja Turtle shows that we had the Splatfest over, too. Haven't seen it. What is this? Girl Superhero Academy? Again, haven't seen it. I hear you and Destiny Decade talk about Ninja Turtles 2012. Again, but to be fair, I have not seen it. Now Rocco's Modern Life. Now we're getting back to the shows I have seen. Rocco's Modern Life definitely gets a... we're in the S tier. We're in the S tier. Oh, it's basically a big battle between Rocco's Modern Life and Doug. I like both. I think I vibe with... I vibe with Doug a little more, but Rocco's Modern Life is a hella good slice of life also. Is a hella good slice of life also with its funny... again, adult writing and funny jokes and good humor, good characters. And we can't forget the Crazy Deli episode, I Am the Cheese. The greatest character in the show. Still a funny joke to this very day. Oh, there's a famous spot. Our tiers would be very similar. Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad because I'm giving smart opinions out. I know opinions are opinions, but I want to at least have some credibility and nuance with them. Yeah. Oh yeah, and Rocco and Heifer are Nickelodeon Curries. Well, again, it's gonna be easy because I haven't seen this show. Casa Grandes. I have not seen Casa Grandes. It's Pony. Oh, sorry, I was into another pony show. Glitch Tax. This is the show just mentioned. Elvis likes this show too. He's mentioned this before to me. I have not seen it though, unfortunately. I'm really enjoying this. Your commentaries thought I'm well and pretty. Well, thank you. Good. I'm so happy. Thank you. Okay. Our Real Monsters. Our Real Monsters. This is one of those shows that I don't like as much as people do. I'm gonna have to... it's gonna be somewhere in B tier. I'm still thinking it out. Admittingly, me and my sister used to watch this back on, of course, old Nickelodeon. We sort of vibed with it. It was... I always thought it wasn't like the most... I wasn't like super in love with it, but it wasn't bad. That's like sort of this lower category. Well, then again, I did like Cat Scratch. I did like Korra and Kappa Mikey. So no, it's on the top of the list of. I wasn't like super duper in love with it, but it wasn't bad. I understand what they're going with, but I didn't fully vibe with it. It's sort of that angle. It's still a good, notable show. You had it on B also? Okay. I liked Real Monsters a lot, still hanging for the A and B from... Okay. Yeah, I think you're doing a good job. Oh, thanks, Jim. And I hear a lot of good things about Glitch Text. Yeah, 2 of my friends talk about it. Oh, Hey Arnold. Oh, boy. You know what? Another good slice of life anime. Why'd I think Doug was going to be the only one on here? How could I be so ignorant? Another good slice of life anime. You know what? As a fake New Yorker myself, since Arnold was also, Arnold gets the top spot for best slice of life anime. I'm sorry, Doug. What was I thinking? Hey Arnold was definitely going to be on this list. Hey Arnold is a phenomenal show. It had the weird, quirky humor down. It had 90s kid vibes. Arnold was a New Yorker, someone very close to my home. we had Grandpa Phil, his crazy grandma Gertrude. We had Big Bob, Helga, all the kids. Again, great funny school humor, very slightly raunchy in a sense. It just hit a bunch of small individual marks very well. It like bullet fired small marks of hitting it very well. It had a good dose of raunchy humor, a good dose of kid humor, a good dose of adult humor, good characters, interesting kid characters, wacky kid characters, wacky adults, funny adults, you know, the mix and lot. Yeah, about a kid who doesn't have parents living in a weird boarding house with his with his grandparents, with other weird tenants too, and wacky New York shenanigans. It was a show very close to my heart. Easy S. AKA Good Me, yeah, that's what you compared the B to, yeah. Hey, Arnold's the best slice of life, yeah, there we go. Never eat raspberry, short man. Pigeon Man just sounds like him, night wrong. Oh, no, yeah, I got you. Yeah, Hey Arnold is definitely best slice of life. Again, great fucking show. Great fucking show. Makes me proud to be a fake New Yorker enjoying that. Again, it was great to see New York representation in a popular Nicktoon. Angry Beavers. Angry Beavers, me and my sister liked. Just to put it in perspective, since I'm almost 30, my sister's 9 years older than me. She's 39, so you can almost imagine the age, our ages when we were watching these Nicktoons. Just to put in perspective, because I do say me and my sister like, because we did watch these a few of these shows. She was more into the older stuff than the newer stuff. She didn't watch like Danny Phantom or anything. She was more like Ren and Stimpy and Angry Beavers, and like Doug and Rocco. Angry Beavers. Angry Beaver gets a nice middle of the A for me. I did like it more than Zim. I vibed with it better than Ren and Stimpy and Zim. And I like Jimmy Neutron and Danny Phantom for the better world building and more plots. Again, as a huge JRPG fan his entire life, I do like more world building and plots. Oh, thanks for following, Jim. But Angry Beavers, hilarious show. Dag and Norbit. Oh boy, they're wacky shenanigans. They're wacky shenanigans, Dag and Norbit. And of course, who can't forget the amazing the trumpet theme in the beginning? Who can't forget that? Who can't fucking forget that? I love Angry Beavers. Angry Beavers was fun. I wish they made it. Oh, they're not Nickelodeon kart races. Well, dang. Dag and yeah, Angry Beavers, good funny show. Again, funny animal show. I vibed with it. Like I said, I vibed with it better than Ren and Stimpy, of the same comedic value. Well, Angry Beavers didn't go as far as Ren and Stimpy, but you know what I mean. I just vibed with Angry Beavers better, and better than Zim, and yeah. And these are the shows that start to have. These two shows have world building and plots, and then but these 4 shows are slice of life that were just, again, I vibed with better, and then these shows have more world building and plot. So yeah. Anyway, cat dog. I'm sorry. I'm just laughing. I remember the burrito episode from Cat Dog, and Dog pronounces it burrito. I still say burrito to this very day. I was gonna agree with you. I was gonna put it above Ren and Stimpy again because I jived with Cat Dog better. Cat Dog's a good fucking show. Again, a very interesting, creative idea of having a cat and dog combined together. Oh, and who can forget the very sad... Oh, yeah, okay, I'm giving Cat Dog this position, definitely, because the very sad movie where they try and find their parents and learn how they were separated from a frog and a blue monster from birth is like the saddest thing, losing your kid in a tornado. Jesus Christ, cat dog. I remember bawling my eyes out, like, Jesus. But anyway, yeah, cat dog, probably above Zim for me, but yeah, I feel it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But yeah, you know, cat dog was a funny show. The Greasers, Shriek, why am I forgetting? Shriek, Cliff, and Lube. There we go, it's been a while. Although Lube's real name is Ignatius, when you learned that one episode where the world's ending. Again, just a random comedy. Cat dog, good funny show. Oh, Winslow! Oh god, Winslow's honestly like the best character in the show. He's fucking hilarious. I still say G Willikers to this very day. G Willikers. Yeah. Honestly, cat dog is something that people would say Ren and Stimpy done right. Again, I just vibe with it better than Ren and Stimpy. That's all. But yeah, cat dog, good show. Okay, we only have 2 more left. I'm just gonna end this on a note. I don't know what this show is, since it goes in the Never Watch. Next up, Wild Thornberrys. Okay, so this is gonna be interesting. Wild Thornberrys is a very interesting case because it actually had a theatrical-ass movie, and it did have character development and world building. It stars a girl named Eliza with her naturistic parents, who are nature documentarists. It stars a girl who can talk to animals. A very interesting concept. Eventually, but she can't tell anyone that she has these powers or she loses them. Eventually, through character building of the show, her older sister eventually finds out, which they keep canon back in the episodes after the movie. So again, I like the character building like that. I like how someone eventually does learn about her powers. Ironically enough, it's her older sister she doesn't really get along with. Overall, I hear the show's well. We have Nigel memes. You have smashing and Nigel memes. After all that, you got good old Tim Curry was the father. Overall, boy, part of me almost wants to say it's better than Korra, just thinking back to, but let me not go crazy. Overall, it's a pretty solid show. I think the show is a little overhated some of its time. People always used to look at this show with weird looks. I'm like, it's just a girl talking to animals. Sure, the humor was a little out there. We just didn't understand the power of Nigel Thornberry yet. I think this show is actually a little ahead of its time. But honestly, this show is a good show. In my opinion, it's a good show. It's a good show. Again, inspired a lot of, going back to artistic direction, inspired traveling, learning about animals. Of course, you shouldn't go out and talk to bulls or something right in front of their face, but inspired learning about animals, traveling. Again, cool stuff like that. And all right, so there we have it. Wow, see, so I'm gonna be proud of myself and suck my own dick. I did not watch a lot of bad shows because Mighty B I hear is D, Barnyard is like D. Apparently Bunsen Burst, whatever this show is bad. I'm not saying all these shows are bad, obviously, but at Fanboy and Chum I hear is bad. I'm proud of myself for watching a lot of quality shows. I didn't watch. I know the bottom seems empty. But I just have a sixth sense for avoiding shitty writing. As a Naruto fan, since it's now welded deep into my soul, I know I can sense bad writing when I sort of see it. Now, that doesn't mean I'd ever prejudge something. You should never prejudge something without watching it, but I have a sixth sense when it comes to maybe something could be shit. I have a maybe something could be shit sense. Solid list. Thank you.